ever.
Yeah, and you can get away with it. It's like the Seinfeld episode where he waved, but he had a broken hand, and George chased him down.
Seinfeld is one of those shows as we bring everybody into the streams over on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, X, social media, all your platforms. Welcome to MHI. We're getting warm. We're getting loose. We're starting the show with a little bit of Seinfeld. Only the kids realize about Seinfeld, man. Seinfeld is this unique, dry humor that is very specific to the comedy portrayed by Jerry Seinfeld. Then you look at King of the Hill, man. King of the Hill's being rebooted. Life is crazy.
Really?
King of the Hill reboots, Seinfeld, and we are talking Broncos 2025 schedule that has just officially been released. What's up, everybody? It's Wednesday night, MHI. I am Luke Patterson, one half of MHI. Join with me, as always, you know him, you love him, Thomas Hall. Tom, how we feeling, baby? It's schedule release night.
Feeling good. I mean, other than all the leaks, that was the schedule. I was hoping that there would be no leaks and we could be, talking about it, fresh off the presses. But it's going to be fun because I mean, we've got a lot of good games on the schedule, a lot of interesting time frames. So it'll be a fun show, man.
David showing us some love, $5 over on YouTube. I catching him slipping. Good evening, Broncos country. Nick, Carl, and Deacon Scott. Man, I know it's been crazy around here. Is this building the Broncos on Tuesday night every 6 p.m. Mountain? I don't think so. This is MHI, and you know better, Papa Bear. I had to give you some help. Thank you so much for all the support, guys. You can definitely reach out over on YouTube, Twitch, X, Facebook, wherever you get this. Let us know what you think about the Broncos schedule release. We're going to be diving right into it in just a second. Let's get through some of those supers. We really appreciate you guys. David Yonkin, David, back-to-back David Crime in MHI tonight, $199. I am looking forward to week 4, week 5, and week 9. We are about to go through the schedule together. David and David, pumped and ready to talk some Broncos 2025 predictions, and we're going to address it all. Concerns. We're going to start talking expectations, a little bit of training camp. We're going to get into all of it. Tom, I'm thrilled to be here.
Yeah, it seems like it's been forever since you've been on the show, but I know it's only been a couple weeks. But yeah, it's good to have you back, man. It's going to be a fun show, and I really need to chat Broncos tonight, and I hope everybody's got some great questions in the chat and ready to get into it.
Man, things change so fast in the NFL. The 2024 Broncos making the playoffs and getting their butts whipped up in Buffalo. They proved that point. They were the outlier. Expectations have been raised from 2024 to 2025. What are your expectations for the Denver Broncos as you look at the 2025 schedule we're talking about here on MHI? Shiloh, what is up? $2 over on YouTube. Giants after Philly, straight to London equals a trap game. Shiloh, Broncos country. Tom, how we feeling about the Broncos going back to London? Last I checked, memory serves, high knees on the plane last time Broncos were in the UK.
Yeah, I don't like it just because you never know with traveling. At least it's supposed to be an away game, I think, right? Like it's supposed to be an away game. I'm not 100% positive on that. I can't remember, but I don't want them to lose a home game to go to London. But the problem is with the fatigue and everything. I don't really like it, but I love it for our England fans out there. The people in the UK who really want to see the Broncos. So I love it for them, but for myself, I'm a little bit more selfish. I'd rather them, not have to travel so far because you never know what's going to happen on those long trips.
Yeah, man, I'll be honest. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it, right? We've got riders over there, or our guy Keith, James. We got all kinds of guys, gals over there in the UK showing us love. Broncos country's repping hard over in the UK, especially in the mornings, man. I mean, like the time zone flip, never mind that. We've got morning shows that get all kinds of Broncos love, and we see it and we love it and we appreciate it. But like you, Tom, I am selfish, and if it inconveniences me in any way, I'm definitely going to be a little grouchy. No, it's exciting that the NFL is willing to do it, I guess, right? The Broncos aren't a boring team Jacksonville, how exciting are they going to be? Well, I can't wait to see Travis Hunter. I'll tell you that. That kind of makes me want to wake up a little earlier in the morning to get after
The
it.
Jets, not the Jags.
Is it the Jets? It's not.
It's the Jets.
I made a mistake. It's the Jets. I don't want to watch the Jets in the UK. I thought it was the Jags. Dang it.
No, it's the Jets. The Jags are I think like week 16 if I'm looking at it correctly, but yeah, it's the Jets in London.
Oh, there it is. The Denver Broncos schedule. Thank you to Deacon Scott over on the ones and twos as he comes in and rescues me. All right, here we go. Week 1, the Denver Broncos. Tom, Tennessee Titans. How are we feeling?
That's great out of the gate for me. It's probably a rookie first
home game
starting.
Home game.
Yeah, home game. Rookie starting against, for the Titans. This Broncos defense should have a heyday. I love that they get to open up at home against a team that they should beat fairly easily. I mean, obviously any given Sunday, but I'm liking the first game. Not so happy about the next several games, but the first opening game, absolutely.
Well, there's some storylines I could think of off the top of my head when I think about the Tennessee Titans. Like, gee, I don't know, number 1 overall pick, Cam Ward. Yeah, that's going to be exciting. I think Broncos country is definitely going to be excited to boo the young quarterback who should be getting sacked, right, by the pass rushing posse that is your Denver Broncos lineup. One Zach Allen, Nick Bonito, Jonathan Cooper, John Franklin Myers, and then some. It should be exciting when you think about Cam Ward. You also look at Broncos connections. I know sometimes that's really fun to look at where other Broncos, past Broncos, where they're currently playing. Cody Barton, right, just got lured away for a fat contract. The Tennessee Titans are paying him. So the Broncos will get to play a familiar face, if you will, in Cody Barton. I think it's exciting. I'm really excited to see Cam Ward. I'm excited to see this defense. What a test for the Denver Broncos and what a test for the Tennessee Titans. I know that there probably aren't a ton of expectations when it comes to looking at the Titans versus the Broncos in 2025. I think they're at 2 different levels in their franchise. It's hard to win in the NFL, Tom. I'm not going to look at this game against the Titans and say, win, easy win. It's really hard to get teams to convert from training camp to regular season action after that little silly thing they call the preseason.
It's so true. It's so true. But I mean, I imagine the Broncos will be so ready for the first week 1 because Sean Payton's second year in the system with Bo Nix. Things will be more well-oiled machine coming out of the gate, facing an inferior opponent. I actually look for the Broncos to come out and put up some fireworks in week 1. You're on mute.
That's exciting. I'm excited that week 1 is at home. That's a really, really big one when you start to look at these things. And then we head on over to week 2. The negative Indianapolis Colts is going to be week 2. That's going to be September 14th. Tom, the Colts. What's going on with the Colts? What's going on at quarterback for the Colts? Because I'm seeing some highlights. One day it's this guy. One day it's that guy. Daniel Jones. What's the deal?
I have no idea, but I'll tell you this: either quarterback that's another advantage for the Broncos because Richardson's just not that great of a quarterback. Daniel Jones not that great of a quarterback, even though that they have to go on the road to face Indianapolis, which I don't like them having to go on the road. I'll just say it right up front: they go on the road, or travel for 4 of the first 6, which I don't like. But I think the Indianapolis Colts, that's a good matchup for the Broncos on the road with their inferior level of quarterback play and Bo Nix having his second year in the system. I'm happy about it to go on the road to Indianapolis instead of, going on the road to the Chargers or the Bengals in week 2.
It's going to be exciting. And guys, before you know it, football is going to be back. It practically is. Now the schedule's released, right? You got the rookies working out over at HQ. And with that, remember, DraftKings is coming back. Spring is in full bloom on DraftKings Casino. New offers and 2 promos are sprouting up daily. Right now, new players can play $5 on anything and get 350 casino spins instantly on a featured slot game. Download the app and sign up with the code MileHighPod take the featured slot for a spin and explore thousands of others in the DraftKings game library.
That's right. Check back daily to claim the hottest offers and promos on DraftKings Casino. And don't forget our code MileHighPod. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling at call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. 21 plus, physically present in Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia only, void in Connecticut and Ontario. Eligibility restrictions apply. New customers only. Non-withdrawable casino spins valid for featured game only and expire in 168 hours. See terms at casino.draftkings.com/promos and June 15th, 2025 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time.
Boom. He is Thomas Hall. I'm Luke Patterson. This is MHI. We are officially reacting to the Broncos 2025 regular season schedule. It was leaked earlier. Leaks everywhere. Somebody call a plumber. No, the actual schedule just got released as the show started. We're super excited to hear what your expectations are against all of these Broncos opponents. What are we looking at this year? Are we looking playoff run? Are we looking at getting shortened? What are the expectations here for the 2025 season? And here is a name I haven't heard in a long time. Our guy, Naj Althoff, with a very generous 1999. What's up, brothers? I hope all is well. The meet and greet will be on fire this year once again. Naj, I can't wait to see you, Thomas, Scott, Chad, all your favorite podcast hosts this year at the 2025 MHH meet and greet. It's going to be a blast, man. I can't wait to have some cold pops with you, barbecue a little bit, and get ready for some Broncos football. I guess that should be a tease a little bit. Maybe we should start bothering Chad on the airwaves. Which opponent looks good for the MHH 2025 meet and greet? Because this is going to be a fun schedule, guys. Naj, thank you so much for the support, man. Let me know what you think of the schedule. We'll get right back at you and let you know. Man, this is exciting. I think you get a home game week 1 against the Tennessee Titans. Cam Ward, number 1 overall pick, former Bronco Cody Barton, couple storylines there. Week 2 against the Indianapolis Colts. Speaking of quarterback, who's their quarterback going to be? Is it going to be Daniel Jones? Right? Is it going to be what's the other guy's name? The guy who quits on the sideline.
Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, you mean the guy that quits on the sideline? Yeah, I already forgot.
The guy
his
that
name.
has like a 50% completion rate, which is pretty much unheard of nowadays.
Yeah, quits on the boys. Yeah, that's why I forget your name. Get out of here. Come on, scram like that one, thing. Phil McLaughlin over on Facebook. Good evening, Thomas, Luke, and Deacon Scott. Listen, it's nice to have the Jets on a neutral field bye week a little later than I would like, but the Bengals and Eagles, it's going to be tough, but I like it. Hashtag Buck'em, MHH for life, Broncos for life. Man, Jets on neutral field, I guess that's a good optimistic way to look at it. Tom and I are grouchy about it. Potentially lose a home game here, and that's a hell of a way to travel. Now, these guys aren't just slumming it, right, in some old airplane or anything like that. They're going to – the Walton Penner ownership group are going to hook it up, right, for the Broncos on the way to the UK. We know this, but it's inconvenient for just about everybody, so it'll be good to get that one out of the way. Man, some NFC opponents, the Cincinnati Bengals. When you look at the Cincinnati Bengals, what would that be? We're jumping ahead here a little bit in week 4. What a game last year. One of the best regular season games of the year, Tom, 2024, Cincinnati Bengals, Denver Broncos. I mean, that was a thriller. Can't wait to see, hopefully, another rendition to that.
Yeah, and that was it. I still think that was in the bag had they went for 2. They were on the road, playoff implications, and that they score at the end. They should have went for the 2-point conversion. Probably would have been all over, but they went to overtime. But this time, they're in Mile High. So I expect it to be Broncos should have the advantage in that game. So even though the Broncos will be traveling a lot, that's one that they've got to take against the Bengals for 2 reasons. One, because of the road schedule that they have early on, so they don't want to get in too much of a hole. But 2, at the end of the season, you're going to want that tiebreaker against the Bengals.
Man, I think Uncle Joey Burrow is going to be in a rough one for this defense, man. Hopefully, and we'll see. Everybody's just crowning this Jahdae Barron, right? Like he's past Surtain already. We got to see if this rookie can even play, folks. That's not me being a hater. right? I'm on board. I said I was on board. I was confused and disappointed initially, and I'm right on board. I'm on the Baron train, so to speak. Let's do this. But we got to see. There's going to be a test all season against this young first-round corner that the Broncos selected in the 2025 NFL draft. Michael Ronquillo, what's up, Mike? It's been a minute. Hope you are doing well down there in the Valley of the Sun. Good evening, Thomas and Luke on the Mile High Insiders. Go, Bo Broncos. Speaking of Bo Nix, Mike, Tom, Scott, Broncos country, how do you think Bo Nix feels about the 2025 schedule? We always react to it. How do you think the players are reacting to this as it was just released minutes ago here on MHI?
I hope they're taking it one game at a time and they're looking at the Titans and that's it. That's what I'm hoping for, but you never know. I would hope that they're preaching that one game at a time. We only focus on our first opponent and then we go to the next one. But I think Bo Nix, the way he prepares, he's probably looked at every one of these games and he's probably already thought about the defenses that they play and whatnot. Just knowing that his work ethic and how he goes about his business, he's probably already kind of digging in a little bit, I would imagine.
I get the feeling Bo Nix is just obsessed with football, right? And film,
Yes.
And that's just that. I don't know for sure. It's just my inclination to think that. I could be wrong. But I saw the other day on social media, I think it was Instagram or whatever the hell it's called. It looked like he was at the movies with his wife. And I'm like, oh, so you are a human being. And, he had popcorn and Coke or something. And I'm like, oh, cool. So Bo Nix does take an off day. Good to know. And then there was a little stir this week here in the Mile High City. And before we get to that stir, I'm going to let you know our guy Gene Williams weighing in over on Facebook. A generous support. Thank you so much, Gene, for joining MHI and hopping on here. Guys, our release video sucked. Either way, we're going to have a great year. I didn't see it, Gene. We were getting ready to go live. I'm going to go check it out. But, oh, no, the release video sucked. That's not good, Gene.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but that doesn't bode well, especially when wasn't it with Peyton Manning and doing the release videos that were pretty cool a few years back, cool. And now they've really faltered since then. So it's a shame. I feel I don't know what to think of it. They're getting worse instead of getting better.
I'll ask a question. Did the jersey release video ruin it because it was cool? Like you and I, those aren't our favorite threads, but the release video was cool, right? Of like the Bronco horse, the Bronco car, someone call OJ, it was a cool video. It was a cool video. Maybe that ruined it, Gene. Either way, man, we appreciate you weighing in over on Facebook. Listen, I hope Gene's right. I hope that we are going to have a great year here in Broncos country, and let us know what you guys think. Naj coming back in. I asked him to come back. Division games are mostly the second part of the season. That's going to be tough, man, when you look at AFC West games. And speaking of AFC West games, week 3, the very first AFC West opponent for your Denver Broncos will be the Los Angeles Chargers on the road in LA. That makes back-to-back road games. Week 2, Colts away. Week 3, Chargers away. Tom, there's something about playing out there in LA against Justin Herbert, and who can forget Harbaugh and his special teams knowledge that came back to bite Sean Payton and his run the ball call sheet, the infamous Thursday night football game that was the Chargers Broncos in 2024. Man, what do you expect in week 3?
Well, I hope he doesn't get out coached again. That's what I hope.
Oh man, Tom, shots fired at Sean Payton, out coached by Harbaugh.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what I want to see is the Broncos to come away with a win. If they have any division aspirations, they've got to steal one somewhere on the road. They've got to split their opponents and sweep one of these Chargers or Raiders or hopefully the Chiefs somewhere in there. So if week 3 they can come out away from Los Angeles to win, that puts them in the driver's seat, from my opinion, to go ahead and really challenge for this division. And if they split each of these games again against their AFC West opponents, they're not going to win the division. They've got to go 4-2. So week 3 is important in that aspect. They have another shot when they go, face the Raiders a couple times in 4 weeks. And then, the Chiefs again at the end of the season. But I want to see them get in the driver's seat from the beginning, and that starts in LA in week 3.
Yeah, and the interesting thing too, I get worried when there's back-to-back road games. Happens every year. You can't avoid it going week 2 into week 3. But the Broncos won in 2024 some really tough road games. When you start thinking, what about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then up there in the New York Jets on a rainy, nasty day, ugly game. They strung some wins together when they really, really needed it. And that's not to say that they will, right? 2024 doesn't carry over to 2025 at all. It's a brand new calendar year. Everything's different. Rosters different. Coaches are different. Players are different. But expectations are different too. And this Broncos team has to win. Week 4, Bengals at home. Man, what a game. That's going to be a fun one for Broncos country. Fingers crossed. Chad, meet and greet. Listening, baby, meet and greet. Let's do that. Week 4 against the Bengals, September 29th. Weather should be beautiful in the Mile High City. Looking forward to that one. Week 5, Tom, the Philadelphia Eagles, Vic Fangio, world champion, will host his former team, the Denver Broncos. What do you think, man? Broncos, Eagles on the road in a mean and tough Philly crowd.
Yeah, all right. But before I do that, we got to address one thing. There's people in the chat talking about us. We're not talking about whether they're going to win or lose these games. We've gone through 4 weeks now, so we've got to do some predictions here. I think by week 5, the team's 3-1. I think they beat the Titans, they beat the Colts, they lose to the Chargers, and then in Monday Night Football, the Bengals, they come away with another victory. And then they go, obviously, you've got the Eagles going to Philadelphia. Not an easy place to play, for sure. I mean, against the Super Bowl champs, that's going to be a tough one. From my perspective, that's a hard win. I don't think the Broncos, if you're gonna have one of these in the first 5 where the Broncos don't come away with a win, it's definitely going to be Philadelphia. If they could figure out a way to go into Philadelphia and come away with a win, man, they're going to be sitting pretty. But that's a tough game. The Philadelphia Eagles didn't get any worse from my perspective, really. I mean, they lost a few players, but that's another tough one. Unfortunately, Luke is having technical difficulties, so hopefully he'll jump back in here pretty quick. William James Baker, thank you for jumping in here saying, my guys and Broncos country, London incoming. I will be there. That's awesome. I wish I could go to London and see all those happy Broncos fans out there. It says, happy to film my experience and send you guys to bring you there for those that can't. That sounds great. You should do that. We can put it up on social media or something like that. That'd be great. I think this year 10-6 will be the record. All right. Not an improvement. 10-6. Well, maybe it's 10-7 since 17 game season. Guys, any trade news? No, we don't have any trade news, and much love coming from across the pond. Thank you so much, William James Baker, for being here. And yeah, it would be great to see some of those videos. It's great to see the camaraderie and the fan base over there in the UK rooting for the Broncos. Naj, I'm thinking Bengals will be a meet and greet. Well, that's what Luke was definitely hoping for, trying to send out some vibes to Chad to see if we can get out there for the meet and greet for the Bengals. That would be a fun one because that's Monday Night Football. That's big. That'll be huge. That'll be a really fun one. So let's keep our fingers crossed for that. All right. So now we have the Jets. We talked about this already. Going to London. I think it's supposed to be an away game for the Broncos, but not 100% positive on that. But either way, traveling across the pond, that's not as fun. But I don't foresee the Jets to be a formidable opponent against the Broncos, even if they do have to travel to London, just because their quarterback situation pretty sketchy right now, and their team, all in all, is kind of going through some changes. So the Jets, to me, should be a winnable game. So from my perspective, if you're sitting there after coming back from London, if the Broncos aren't 4-2 coming back from London, I think it's a disappointment. I think they have a chance to really jump out in front to get a lead on this division and be right in there, early on for that race to the postseason. just based on what the schedule. Now, I don't like that they're traveling. I mean, 4 out of the 6 games are traveling. That's rough, but I think they have that opportunity in order to come back from London and being in the driver's seat. And that'll be a fun game too. I mean, even though it's early for all the West Coast folks checking that game out nice, bright and early, but that's one of those days where you can watch football all day. So I'm not too upset about it. Then you've got the Giants. That's another team who is definitely kind of faltering. The great franchise that they are is just really kind of staggering to, who knows what their team's going to be like. I think that's another game that has implications about, Russell Wilson and all that coming to the Giants. Another one that, if you got to do a meet and greet, that might be another one. Some booing of Russell Wilson. Who knows what's going to happen there? But the Giants coming back to the Mile High City, or coming to the Mile High City. Russell Wilson, whether he's the starter or not, who knows? But that's some more kind of fireworks there for Broncos country. But really, that's another game that should be winnable for this Broncos team. I mean, the Giants were not very good last year. They still have a quarterback situation that's not resolved. It would be great to see what the Broncos pass defense can do if Russell Wilson's back there, really rattle him and get him doing the same things he was doing in the Mile High City, hopefully. Now, another interesting one after that, the Dallas Cowboys. That's always, for some reason for me, I'm always interested in the Broncos versus the Cowboys. Mostly because I can't stand them. I can't stand them since they won that 1977 Super Bowl back in the day. Plus, I had a roommate that was a huge Cowboys fan during their heyday, so it's really tough for me to have any love for the Cowboys. But that's another one where they're coming back, or coming to the Mile High City. So the Broncos are getting some relief, and hopefully getting two home games in a row. So hopefully that's an advantage for them. Now, the Cowboys, they're not really great in the postseason, but they're usually a fairly solid team when it comes to regular season. So that's not an easy win, but they should take that game at home. And if they don't, that'd be a disappointment because, again, they've got some tough games coming up, a couple against the Chiefs in the later part of the season. They've got the Commanders are pretty good. They got the Packers. So they need to take some of these games that they should win in order to put themselves in a situation where they can kind of set themselves up for that final run into the postseason. And that really does start, it's starting in, by week 8, they should be preparing themselves for that. US Dave's coming in saying he's still pissed from Super Bowl 12. Absolutely. So thanks for jumping in there and saying that. So really appreciate that. And I also say I always think that the Broncos, need to take care of business at home, and they haven't been very well. And it would be great if they could. They've really only had 6 seasons where they went undefeated at home in their entire history. So going undefeated at home is a pretty tough challenge, but they go, at least get most of those wins. That'd be huge. And if anybody knows those seasons that they did go undefeated at home, throw it in the chat. See if you got it right. But it's tough to win all of them at home. But yeah, throw them in there and see if you're right, because I know which seasons they are, and we'll see if you're right. String Guys coming in. Shout out to Thomas for having the intestinal fortitude to predict all these games. Hit the like button, you all. Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you, String Guy, I am very excited about this Broncos team this year. I was down on them for a while. I've really come around thinking that, I was impressed with how this team played last year, played above expectations, and I'm really, really looking for that next step. Now, they may not win that many more games this year, but how they win it and, the games that they need to win, against those better opponents, how they play in those games is going to be huge. And I think they're going to be a surprise team as far as challenging for this division. against Kansas City Chiefs. So thanks for jumping in there. Really appreciate it. All right. So after the Cowboys, we got the Texans. That's in week 9, going to Houston. Houston's a pretty good team, well coached. I really like what they're doing down there. They got a really good quarterback. I know he had a sophomore slump, CJ Stroud. That's another game that on the road, probably, I mean, I would chalk that up as a loss. Now, I don't know if they're going to lose that game, but all of the signs, on the road, well-coached team, good quarterback, who probably is going to bounce back, could be a loss. I hope not, but that's one that I would say, yeah, I mean, I could see that happening. And then finally, after you go to the Texans, you get the Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders, and Thursday Night Football in the Mile High City. This is where you really. I think this is where the season, the actual finish of the season is going to really start here. I think the Broncos have to take this Raiders game. In fact, I think the Broncos have to sweep the Raiders to have any shot at really making any noise. This one's at home. They better take this game. I know there's a lot of changes happening down in Las Vegas. They still have a lot of things to work out. They got the running back that everybody in Broncos country wanted. So hopefully they can shut down Genty and hopefully that's a win. And then the big one is the Chiefs at home. And, it's nice to see that the Broncos are going to stack up those home games in a row that they didn't get at the start of the season. But that's another big game. Kansas City Chiefs. This is the game that will determine whether or not the Broncos really can challenge for that division title. From my perspective, I know everybody's saying they're trying to predict that Chiefs demise. Well, it's hard to say. I mean, they were just in the Super Bowl, right? The one thing that I really have to point to when it comes to the Chiefs, some of their stars are getting a little older. If you look at the trend, now trends don't. Pat Mahomes can bounce back, but he's been trending down every single year, basically. One up, one down, one up, one down, and then it keeps getting worse and worse. So if you follow that trend, he's on pace to have one of the worst seasons, or the worst season he's ever had. So if that does happen, that's going to open the door for the Broncos. Now, will it happen? I don't know. There's a ton of Hall of Fame quarterbacks in the past where you see these guys, they have a really bad year and another fairly bad year, and then they bounce back and they have one of the best seasons of their career. So you can't count them out, but that week 11 game against the Chiefs, that's going to paint the picture for the rest of this season and where the Broncos really are. Still having trouble getting Luke Patterson back in here. Unfortunately, it's a bummer because I was looking forward to really going through it with him, but you're stuck with me, folks. So throw some stuff in the chat. Again, I asked you a trivia question. If you have the answer, throw it in there. We'll jump in there and see how it goes. But again, that trivia question is: what are the 6 home games what are the 6 seasons that the Broncos have went undefeated at home? So throw it in there if you know it. All right. We got Pearl Heater coming in. I always want to beat the Raiders. I do too. Always. I want to win. I want the Broncos to beat every time they play the AFC West. I want to beat it. But the Raiders are always they're the most hated rival. Even though the Chiefs have had a lot of success and the Raiders haven't recently, I still think the Raiders, I kind of hate them more. So I'm with you. Pearl. Thanks for jumping in there. Anthony Ortiz coming in. I just got my tickets versus the Titans. My first game ever. Me and my wife are excited. Broncos country. That's amazing. Home games are the best. And I know that you can't really see as well as watching the TV. I always think that, but nothing beats going live. I remember my first game. It was actually on the road in the Kingdome back in 1998. Got to watch I think 7 future Hall of Fame players. It was so much fun. And then, getting to go to the Broncos games at Invesco and, it's Empower Field now, but it was, those are always the most fun. So congrats on that. And, enjoy and go, get there early and go. There's so many fun tailgates, so many fun places to go visit with other Broncos fans. Get there early and go enjoy all the tailgating. There's some great ones out there, but it is a lively, fun time in the parking lot there. So get there a couple hours early just to enjoy that. We got Ton coming in. Thomas, I'm thinking about going to the Christmas game. Go Broncos, I believe. Oh, wow. That would be a fun one. I don't know. I wouldn't want to do it. I mean, I am a family man. I want to be home with my kids on Christmas and everything like that. But, man, I'm jealous because if you do go to that Christmas game, that should be fun. Thursday night football, the second Thursday night football game of the year for the Broncos on Christmas. Man, that should be a lot of fun. I would imagine that they'll do something pretty fun for the fans. I don't know. I mean, I've never been to Kansas City, that Arrowhead Stadium, but I would imagine they do something pretty fun on Christmas. So that would be a good one to go to. And just be careful out there. Don't get into any fights with the Chiefs fans. And then finally, after that Kansas City game, not the Christmas one, but the next one, that's finally their bye week. And I'm not a big fan of having a late bye week. I would rather have it in the middle of the season. But the one thing going for this team has been that the Broncos are relatively uninjured, and that bye week coming later isn't too bad. Usually that late bye week hurts the more veteran teams, the aging teams. So Broncos are a bit of a younger team, so not terrible, but definitely the bye week coming a bit earlier than last year, if I remember correctly, but it's still coming a little late in the season for me. Michael Ronquillo, coming in. Ernie Mays has the answer. Well, I didn't see that answer come in, so if that can be thrown up there, that would be great. Broncos, 24 straight home games, years 97 through 98. Yeah, they did. You're right. 97 and 98 and 96, they were undefeated at home. Absolutely. But there were also 3 other seasons where they had undefeated home records. So throw those in the chat. But yeah, incredible. That's where the Mile High Magic was really, really happening in those from 96 to 98. Just incredible stretch of home game wins. Thank you, Ernie, for coming in. 3 more seasons, though. 96, 97, and 98 are definitely 3 of them. So throw the other ones in the chat. All right. After the bye week, they go to Washington to face the Commanders. And that's a tough team. I mean, that's a team that made it to the NFC Championship game. That's going to be a big one, too, because all season long last year, it was Bo Nix versus Jaden Daniels for Offensive Rookie of the Year. It's going to be interesting to see which of those rookie quarterbacks kind of take their game to the next level. I'm looking for both of them to do it. Both of them are good quarterbacks. So that's going to be a big one. And that's going to be a tough one. If I think they beat the Chiefs the week before the bye, come out of the bye, play the Commanders. I'm looking at another loss. So Broncos, if they can come away with a win, that'd be huge. But that's another tough game. Man, I don't even know if I don't know. That's one that I kind of put on the loss column. I hate to do it, but that's just the way it is. And then after the Commanders, they got to go to Las Vegas. And that's another game where the Broncos really, really need to come away with that win. That's where what I'm talking about. If they want to challenge for that AFC West division, they've got to figure out a way to sweep one of these teams. The Raiders are the prime candidates for that. Still kind of figuring out who they are, and they've got to take that game in Las Vegas. Got David Yunkin coming in with a super chat. Thank you so much, David. Appreciate that. It was 2014 they went undefeated. That is correct. 2014 was another undefeated season. There's 2 left, 2 more seasons left that they went undefeated. Thank you for that, David. Appreciate it. I'm a big fan of trivia, man. Sports trivia, movie trivia. If there was just categories like that on Jeopardy, I'd be a champion. But unfortunately, there's some other harder ones that I don't always get. But sports and movie, I'm in all the way. All right. After the Raiders, then you got another tough one. Really, it's the Packers. Luckily, Packers at home. So that's obviously an advantage. Well, hopefully it's an advantage. The Broncos need to figure out how to take care of business at home and be that team that wins at home more often than not. But that Packers team's a tough team. That's another one that I can go either way on. Being at home against the Packers, oftentimes the Packers have been beat up by the end of the season. So maybe that's to their advantage, but that's one of those games where you can go either way. I'm hoping they can come away with that victory. At this point, I'm going to go with a win against the Packers here, just because they're at home, and like I said, the Packers are beat up. So that the Broncos, I think, can get to 11 wins this year, and they one better than last year, just because of more experience. And I think the Packers game, they have to win that in order to, from the way I'm looking at that schedule, they got to win that Packers game to get to 11 wins on the season. So I'm chalking that up as a W, Packers against Packers at home. And then there comes the final stretch of the season. You got the Jacksonville Jaguars at home again. So another back-to-back home games. Now, the Jaguars aren't that great of a team. They're kind of an average team for the most part. They got a pretty good quarterback. This is another game that I think the Broncos can win, and they have to win that. I mean, this is a Jaguars. They got. Oh, Luke, you're back. All right. we're all the way to the Jaguars by now, and I'm sitting here talking away, hoping that people are interested, talking about the schedule. So I'm glad that you're back, Luke. Appreciate it.
Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, well, it's one of those weeks, man. It's just one of those weeks. And what do? We adapt and we overcome. Many thanks to Scott for his help, for Chad and Tom and Broncos country holding it down. Listen, man, finally, now the Jaguars. I thought it was London. No, I was wrong. Travis Hunter, let's go with the Jaguars. Welcome back to Colorado. I know he still has a house just outside of Boulder. Colorado's going to be pumped to see their guy come back, and they're going to be even more pumped to beat him. It's going to be fun, man. I want to see Pat Surtain locked up against him. That would be cool. I don't know, man. It's one of these things where any given Sunday, right? I don't think you could truly overlook any opponent. What an important stretch, right? Jags, Chiefs, Bolts to knock out the last week. 3 AFC opponents, 2 divisional opponents. The Jags in week 16 is going to be tough at home. I know Broncos country might laugh at me for saying that, but look, there's some trap games. I don't know what the team's going to look like in late December. Are they going to be starting some momentum as they get ready for a playoff run? Are they going to be in a position where it's a game they can afford to lose? Hard to say, but I'm not willing to overlook the Jaguars. I am very much so on the Hunter bandwagon, and he's about all they got.
Yeah, and Luke, I've been giving my predictions all the way, and I was like thinking 11 wins on the season, but I'm looking at it now, and I've predicted 11 wins already, and the Jags says the 11th win. So we got 2 games left. I'm being overly optimistic, maybe optimistic. I'm not sure, but I've got them at 11 wins already, and still 2 games left with a winnable game in there. So you never know, man. This is looking like a pretty good season if we can, write it down on paper anyway.
Yeah, I give that game a win as well. I mean, it's at home. It's Sean Payton, this Broncos squad. You're better be built for this. You cannot be losing football games at home, especially in late December. I mean, you want to get off to a fast start. You want to have your struggles be usually towards the middle of the season, right? Hope you can get to that bye week and hope you're not limping coming out of the bye week. Limping going into the bye week's one thing. coming out of your bye week and starting a nasty stretch against the Washington Commanders, the Las Vegas Raiders, the Packers, and then getting the Jags at home, man, you don't want any part of that. You got to take care of business. I do think the Broncos get the dub against the Jags. Those damn Chiefs in week 17, what are they going to look like? You have a huge competitive AFC West, as I'm sure you've been telling Broncos country. The AFC West is on the rise when you start looking at the number of playoff teams, specifically in 2024. 3 out of the 4 made it, and the Raiders didn't because they suck. And I hope they suck again this year. But it's going to be tough, man. I don't know. The Chiefs have for many seasons now just looked at the end of the calendar, saw the Broncos in there, and they're like, we may not even need to play those guys with our first stringers. Things may be different here in 2025.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a different scenario. I think the Kansas City Chiefs will be, in the playoff hunt in the division. I think they're going to be fighting for that division against the Broncos based on what I have on paper right now. So I think that's an important.
And the Chargers.
And the Chargers might be in there as well. So it's not I don't know if it's a gimme this year for the Chiefs. And I think that game looms large, for that division title against the Broncos. The winner of that probably does win the division. So that's a good one. Christmas Day, man. Christmas Eve, Christmas evening game on Thursday Night Football against the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, Luke, while you were out, I threw out a trivia question. Okay. So I asked our viewers and listeners to come up with the 6 seasons that the Broncos have had undefeated seasons at home. So far, they've got 4. There's 2 left. They've come up with 2014, 96, 97, and 98. There's 2 left still out there. So keep an eye out for that.
Undefeated seasons at home. What was out there?
They've got 96, 97, and 98, and 2014 so far has been thrown out there.
I'm thinking, were these all Mike Shanahan years? What if I said
no, actually not. The 2 that are still outstanding are on. One of them is a Mike Shanahan year. The other one is not.
Okay, because I was going to go 2000, 2003, or you already said those.
Nope. Not 2012 or 2013. So, yeah, one of them is a Mike Shanahan year. One of them is not.
2014 in there?
Yeah, that's already been said. 2014.
I'm out, man. I don't know. Shanahan, it's not Mike. It was before. Was it before Mike? Was I alive, Tom? Was I alive?
I don't know when you were born, but I
91,
think
91, baby.
You were not alive for one of them. You were alive for another.
Broncos country, help me out. Ernie Mays, 2012, 2013.
That's wrong. Not one. That's not one. I will reveal it before we end, though. The last 2.
It's driving me crazy with your damn trivia. No, man, that's good. Broncos trivia. It's fun when you're at the bar, right, having a cold pop, and you get a good old-fashioned game of trivia coming in. Broncos country, we're reacting to the end of the schedule here. Listen, how much would a win matter to Broncos country and this Denver Broncos squad on Thursday Night Football on the road in Arrowhead, a place they haven't won in a dog's age, Tom?
Yeah, it would be huge. If they did take that game in Arrowhead, the division's theirs. Because like I said earlier, I said the Broncos have to go 4-2. They have to sweep somebody. I already have them sweeping the Raiders. If they sweep the Kansas City Chiefs, it's over. They'll probably rest their starters in the final week of the season, from my perspective. If they beat Kansas City twice and they beat the Raiders twice, I think the division is wrapped up before the final week of the season.
Wow, man. What a bullet. Who's this Thomas Hall, this optimistic Thomas Hall that I hear talking right now? You almost sound like your franchise has found a quarterback and you are excited for the 2025 season. The defense got better in the draft. At least that's the expectation with first round pick Jahdae Barron. Jahdae, how do I do it? Jahdae Barron. Jahdae Barron.
I don't know. Jahdae, I'm not sure.
Although we know is he's supposed to be good at football and he's a gentleman, right? Those are the 2 things we know about this young rookie as he's in rookie minicamp. It's going to be tough, man. I hate to see AFC West games at the end of the year stacked like this, man. When you got Raiders, Packers, Jags, and then Chiefs, Bolts. Man, sweeping the Chiefs. Talk about some lofty expectations because, there's some cracks in the foundation there in Chiefs Kingdom, I think, but they're dangerous, and I'm not willing to overlook them. I know you're not either, Tom. It's so hard to go predictions, man. I gotta hope that the Broncos. You know what? I expect the Broncos to split with the Chiefs. They have to this year. I'm still mad at Alex Forsythe and Luke Wattenberg both for that disaster in Arrowhead last year. It's your fault, boys, and that's why I wanted an upgrade at center. I'm bitter, and I'm hanging on to it. And, they just get ran over all the time. I'm not going to go on my center rant like I usually like to do, but it's going to be fun, man. You got to get a win. Chris Santa, bring a win, right? To the Broncos on Thursday Night Football in Arrowhead, right? Santa Claus, please come to town and get us the hell out of Arrowhead with a dub on primetime action.
That would be a great Christmas present. Beating the Chiefs in Arrowhead, locking up the division. What could Mile High City ask for? What else could they ask for? I mean, that's it right there, man.
Man, that's a changing of the guard at the AFC West if the Broncos schedule pans out the way you're predicting, the way you and Broncos country are going, man. Like,
I didn't say they were going to win on Christmas. I just said if they do. If they do, that's 12 wins. That's 12 wins.
You know what? Baloney, Tom. You've been saying I've been picking games while you were away, Luke. Well, you ain't picking this game, are you, Tom?
Well, I'll give my prediction right now. I don't think they win on Christmas Eve. It's too tough to win in Arrowhead in December, but that doesn't mean that they don't have a good season. I still think based on what I'm looking at, they can still get to 12 wins, even with that loss of the Chiefs on Christmas Day.
What looks like your favorite game on the Broncos schedule, and which game do you look forward to the least? You can't say London. We've already complained about London. Everyone knows we hate the London game. I'm so sorry to Keith and James, but it inconveniences us, and this is about us here on Wednesday night on MHI. Broncos country, Tom, Scott, and I. So your favorite in this one, and the game you're least looking forward to.
Oh man. My favorite game, I'll go with my least favorite one. The one that I don't want to see the most is the one in Washington. Sunday Night Football in Washington just looks like a loss. I don't know.
After the bye?
Yeah, I just don't know. It just doesn't look good to me. So I don't know. That's my least favorite on the schedule so far. My favorite one, I think is watching the Cowboys in Denver get whipped. I want to see them get whipped, and I'm looking forward to that one.
I was just gonna go there, man, because God, I hate those guys, right? And they're gonna be a mess again this year, and so I'm not gonna go Cowboys. I'll go least favorite. How about this one? I'm not looking forward to the Philly game.
Yeah,
in Philly in Week 5. Like, I get it's an NFC opponent. It's the reigning Super Bowl. You know why I'm not looking forward to them? Their defense is so freaking scary. I almost just cursed there. I mean, they're so nasty and scary and get away with felonious assault every single Sunday or a chance that they line up out there. They're so nasty, and I just feel like Vic is going to do everything he can, Papa Vic Fangio, to just spoil Bo Nix. It'll be on Sean Payton. How about that for a chess match? The play caller versus the play caller. Offense versus defense. Who can outwit the other? Who could stay more principled? We know Sean Payton's not going to have run the ball on that one. Look, I hate that game. It's in Philly. I don't think the Broncos have historically done well in Philly, like ever. Philly fans are horrible. They're going to be horrible to the Broncos. I'm not excited about the Philadelphia Eagles, Tom. A game I am excited about, go ahead. You want to chime in?
I was going to say, and there's rumors that Justin Simmons wants to go to the Eagles too. So that could be
I'll bet he does.
I'm sure he does too, whether he goes there or not. But if they sign him, that's another little Broncos rivalry, so to speak.
The Philadelphia Eagles don't want Justin Simmons. All right.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No. No, like, what a hack. I'm so done with this. Like, Justin wanting to go wherever he wants to go. Justin, you're lucky to go wherever you're going to go because you're at that point in your career. I'm not saying you can't play anymore, but that's what the league and the market has clearly dictated. Good for Justin. You got to be your best advocate. If you're going to shoot your shot, then shoot it for the Super Bowl champs. Shoot it for a defensive coordinator who knows your game, who you've done quite well in. What, second team All-Pro, maybe No Pro Bowl, second team All Pro if memory serves. I went back. You can at me, bro, at Luke Patterson LP under Vic Fangio's defense. So maybe, but like I don't know, man. A game that I'm looking forward to. I'm not going to say the Cowboys. How about the Green Bay Packers in Week 15? Man, that's a historical game. Cheeseheads meet Broncos country. Tom, last time these teams played in Denver, you and I watched the game. Elbow to elbow there. And
yep.
Man, the green and yellow, they represented. It was at our meet and greet a couple of seasons ago, and it was brutal, man. It was absolutely brutal to see that much green and yellow. What a historic rivalry with the Denver Broncos and the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, that was a good one. I was actually thinking about that one because that's a game that they have to win. I was talking about it before you came back on, that if they want to make some postseason noise and get set up to be, one of those teams where they're challenging for that kind of maybe a first round bye or whatever, that's a game that they had to win. So it's a good one, man. I was thinking that one as well, but I went with the Cowboys because I want to see them get beat. Oh. I want to see the Broncos whip up on them.
Yeah, who's the starting quarterback for the Cowboys there in Week 8? That always seems to be the question down there in Jerry World, and I can't wait to see what Jerry does with this team. He's going to ruin it like he always does, and it's just same story, different chapter down there in Dallas, Texas. Phil McLaughlin, what's up, Phil? Thank you for being patient with me and my technology and StreamYard. I'm gonna blame StreamYard. It ain't me. It's StreamYard, boys. It's their fault. Well, guys, if we win all home games this year, that looks like 9 wins. I'm pretty sure we can get 4 or 5 more on the road. There you go, being reasonable, Phil. I love it, man. Setting the expectation. Yeah, winning on the road, that's going to be tough, Tom. I'm sure as we look at this schedule here that Scott had pulled up for us, week 2 and 3 back-to-back on the road, week 5 and 6, London back-to-back on the road. Things do not get easy for the Broncos on the schedule by any means. I'm curious where people grade the schedule, right? Like, this is going to be so hard, or the ranking of the schedule, if you will. What do you think?
Well, just to answer that question, I think on strength of schedule I think it's the 14th hardest. So it's right in the middle. It's not a terrible, it's not an easy schedule based on last year's record. Now, obviously things change. So that's we don't know for sure how good teams will be and how bad they will be this year. But right now I think it's the 14th toughest schedule. So not too bad.
Real quick, I mean, what, you got 4 or 5 playoff teams on the schedule here? Just glancing at it, right? A champion, Super Bowl champ. So yeah, it's a formidable schedule, man, with opponents that you cannot take lightly. I was losing you coming in and out a little bit when you were talking about the Giants in Week 7, just on the way out, man. I cannot wait to see what happens to the Giants. But I'll be honest, if there was any year that I wanted the Broncos to play the Browns again, it would be this year, man, because I want to see what happens with Mr. Legendary himself. Michael Ronquillo, speaking of legendary, a legend here on the MHH Super Chat Superstar community. Great show tonight, Thomas and Luke on the Mile High Insiders. Go, Bo Broncos. Thank you for rocking with us, Mike, through our highs, through our lows. You were always there. One of the bros, one of the originals, Michael Ronquillo. We appreciate it, man. And everybody tonight for joining in. Thank you for hanging in there with our difficulties. We really, really appreciate it. What an exciting time here in Broncos country. You've got the draft, check. Schedule release, check. Rookie workouts, check. Training camp is right around the corner. Football is just about back into our lives. We got to get through these NBA playoffs. We need all the Mile High magic we can get after the Denver Nuggets pretty much just squandered a fourth quarter last night that made me almost puke, Tom. I don't know what's going on. Nikola Jokic, he went out of his mind. It's tough. Nuggets got a tough one here tomorrow night in Denver. OKC, their backs against the wall, 3-2. Hopefully they get it done and send it back to OKC for Game 7.
Yeah, and speaking of home games, I'm going to go ahead and answer those trivia questions that I threw out there. So, again, 1996, 97, 98, all undefeated at home. 2014 was undefeated at home. 2005, the Jake Plummer, great, one of his best years, then he blew it in the playoffs, but that was another undefeated at home season. And then 1981, which probably people wouldn't guess, but 1981 was another undefeated home season for the Broncos. It was one of the better seasons of all time. Craig Morton had an incredible season in 1981, of all people, quarterbacking seasons back then. So those were the 6 seasons that the Broncos have been undefeated at home. And if they do it this year, They win the division.
The 81 season, was Dan Reeves the coach?
No, that was still this is amazing. Yeah,
look,
that was Dan.
I got
Reeves'
him.
First,
Almost
Dan
got
Reeves'
him.
First year, I think. Yeah,
Really?
Dan Reeves' first season, 1981.
Because I was trying to
Red Miller
guess.
was 4 years, 77, 78, 79, 80. Yeah, so that was Reeves' first year.
Wow, man. Yeah, and rest in peace, right? To Coach Reeves, dude. So God rest his soul. And guys, we're just about out of here. We're almost out of time reacting to this Broncos schedule. We really appreciate everybody rocking with us. Head on over to X, give us a follow at MHI_pod. We got to beef our numbers up. You can also head on over to X, reach out to Tom at Thomas Hall NFL, yours truly at Luke Patterson LP. Head on over to at Scout Kennedy, cooking up all kinds of football trouble this offseason, this upcoming season. A lot of fun content coming. And we appreciate everybody. You guys rocked with us hard. Super excited for this season, man. I can't wait for the meet and greet. I can only imagine I'm going to start bothering Chad as soon as we get off of the cast here. We're going to flood him with text, one text a day. And it's just going to be Bengals, Bengals, until it's just seared into his brain. And finally he's like, Luke, your blocks. And we will move
Monday
on.
night, man.
Yeah, you know what's interesting? You know what's interesting too? Fun. I mean, Nuggets tomorrow night. Look out for those Broncos. George Payton and Sean Payton. They were watching the Nuggets playoffs, on Mother's Day? How weird is that? You never see George and Sean out in public ever. So that was kind of weird. Stay tuned, man. Maybe a Bo Nix sighting. You know the Sheriff Peyton Manning's going to be in the house, so go Nuggets. We want to get behind those guys as well. We will be back. MHI will be back next Wednesday. I will be out for my daughter's continuation. They grow up so fast, Tom. 6th grade is officially in the book, so I got to be there for my kiddo. But Tom will be holding it down. You never know who's going to be stopping by around the corner. Head on over to the mothership at milehighhuddle.com. Check out the schedule. Get into it. Chad has all of it ready for you. And follow at Mile High Huddle over on X. Broncos country into the 2025 schedule with high expectations. This is the way.
This is the way.